What's up, guys? How we doing? Hope you're doing well. Another day closer to TikTok being banned. Don't know how I'm feeling. I generally hope it gets reversed. I honestly do hope it gets reversed. Like, the US is the biggest market. It's just going to be crazy if it gets banned. But what I will say, and I want to be careful how I say this, but if TikTok gets banned in the US, it gets banned, right? But if you're in the UK, you're in Europe, there is going to be obviously a big benefit in a way, because I feel like it's going to be a slightly less competition. In certain industries, it's very dominated by the US. So, people who are based in Europe that are used to seeing people in the US, they're no longer going to see that content. They're going to see people who are in Europe and other parts of the world. So there is a bit of an opportunity, but I don't know. We want the US to stay, obviously. Those guys will be affected the most. I will be affected, but I don't think I'll be like massively affected. Because I do have a lot of people in the UK and parts of Europe who watch my content, Australia, even Asia. So like right now, I think I have one client in the US. The rest are in Europe, to be honest. But I have a lot of really good connections on TikTok, and they are based in the US. Like, I have some great media buyers who are US based. Sure, what's up, man? Mehodi, is that how I say your name? Welcome. You have the same surname, which is not very common. What am I working on? Same as always, honestly. So, bit client work, and then a couple startups on the side. Today, I actually built an SEO, like SaaS company. I'll show you in a sec. Actually, I just hope it doesn't show me up and have bugs. How's the CPC so low? The CPC is so low because, well, actually we're looking at CPC all, which isn't an accurate representation. That's the first answer. And the second answer would be the market. And the third answer would be down to the audience that is being shown here. Ignore the one for 12 pence. That's a link click campaign, so that's misleading. Thank you for the likes. Whoever just given those likes. 1,895 likes. That's crazy. Appreciate that. Let me move this over. Come on. There we go. Yeah, let me see if I can show you guys the AI SEO software. Super interesting. I built it in about 2 hours. Probably less than that. It's kind of wild. I'm going to deploy it to a domain real quick. What does ABO mean? ABO is ad set budget optimization. So you've got two ways to spend your money on Facebook. You either do it on the campaign level, which basically means that inside the campaign you have ad sets, the budget gets distributed between those ad sets, or you spend it on the ad set level, which gives you more control. So what can happen is you could spend $1,000 a day and only 2 out of 5 ad sets get the budget. If you have ad set budget optimization, you are fully distributing and controlling where that money is going, if that makes sense. That's kind of the difference. Personally, I don't use CBO much now. Just found it's not been that effective. Do I have experience with Google Ads? Yeah. I launched a Google Ad campaign before, actually. I have just as much experience on Google as I do on Facebook, but for whatever reason, no one's really interested in Google on TikTok. So I usually just show you Facebook. And yeah, I'm a freelancer, I work by myself. I used to have an agency. We grew to about, how many people did we have? 12 people. It was a nightmare, I hated it. And I scaled back and went freelance and did other things. Where do I get freelance work from? I get freelance work from TikTok. I still get some on Upwork. So I grew to like the top 1% of talent on Upwork. That definitely helps. I have referrals as well. That's pretty much it. I've been doing TikTok for like 2 years, I think now. And you often get people who reached out to you like a year ago come back to you now because they weren't ready a year ago. So it just kind of compounded nicely. What are the downsides of running an agency? I can give you a massive list. You know, in my opinion, the only benefit to running an agency is that you build a team of talent that you can then use on your own projects. So I met this guy who built this agency. It was a really niche agency in Liverpool. And he had like, I think 10 or 15 people working for him. And the money that he made, like the serious money he made, was actually not from his agency. It was from launching mini brands and like lead gen sites and all kinds of stuff. So in the UK, he did something for like debt relief, and they were getting, I think, £1,000 per closed client. So he had that entire team. He had like web developer, designer, an ads guy, a content copywriter. So he had that pool of talent. And that's where he made his money. And he made like £4 million in a couple of months doing that. But his agency, he just has small retainers. They were just keeping things ticking over. But the downside to an agency is like, you know, you're constantly trying to hire talent. You're trying to retain talent. You'll get junior talent come in. You'll invest your time and money into them. You'll show them how to run ads, how to get to a certain level. And then they'll get poached by a bigger company that will offer them a salary that you can't compete with. That's very common. You also have the issue that clients always want more. Nothing is ever enough. So you might have a client come to you with a really ambitious target. You go and hit that target, and now that client wants to move the barrier up. And then what happens is they start to look at other agencies. They think that there's an agency that can give you a better answer or a better service. So they go and try that out. I get it all the time. I get people come through to me and they're like, I've been working with an agency for a year. Our results have declined. I'm looking for someone to take over. And so I look, and the agency have done all right. They've not done anything bad. I think it's more down to other factors like, you know, increased bidding. But that agency's about to lose that client. So yeah, it's just a pain in the ass. Have I heard the YouTube channel start a story? Yeah, huge fan. Until he did the guy that did the coaching stuff. Just got my first ad conversion, €75. Damn. Congrats though on getting the conversion, that's pretty good. Where are you selling? Like, are you selling on your own website or is it third party? How I start my own online businesses? Yeah, I've got a couple of them right now. One of them I've spoken about a lot here. It's basically an online site with a team that we pay for. We do tax rebates in the UK. It's actually a really good model. So we run an ad and we say, look, if you meet this criteria, you could be eligible for a tax rebate. And so we run the ads. The ads are set up so that only those that meet the criteria qualify and come through as a lead. Each lead's worth anywhere from like £300 to £1,000. That's what we get paid. We have a team that essentially close them, get some documentation, we submit to an accountant, and we're paying like £4 a lead to generate a client that's worth like 100x. So I have that. I have a couple of SaaS products that I've been launching. They're more like MVPs, to be honest. And the long-term play with that is to build it into what me and my partner are calling like a SaaS factory. We don't have a better name at the moment. If anyone has a better name, let me know. But it's basically a holding company. We just keep throwing up different SaaS products. Car finance reclaims. Yeah, I looked at that. It's a very saturated market though. So many people are doing it. And I know a couple of law firms that have kind of screwed over the introducers. I'm working on Design Studio. Should I market on LinkedIn or where is the best place? A Design Studio, I would definitely do LinkedIn. If you're not in the US, like I would also do TikTok. I think TikTok's like super easy to scale. I don't think it's too late on TikTok. TikTok's great, to be honest, because you can really showcase your talent and also do a bit of storytelling. You're selling tickets on what? Fienta. Never heard of it. Let me have a look. Can you optimize per purchase with this? Fienta is an interesting site because, well, this is in Russian actually. Let me have a look. If you're using a third-party site like these guys, I mean, I don't know how big they are, but I would definitely question the conversion rate that you get from that site. I don't see the Facebook pixels on there either, so you likely are not optimizing per purchase, in which case that's why you're paying €70 per purchase. If you're just driving traffic there, it's just not going to convert. Introduce your business model is good. What other industries can be used in? For introducers, I think anything like finance, even though it's regulated, I think it's good. It's anything that has margin, to be honest. There's a big company in the UK. I don't know if you've heard of it. I don't know where you're based. It's called Expert Marketplace. This right here. Now this is owned by a company called MVF Global. Marketing VF is what they stand for. I think it's turn over 100 million a year in the UK. It's just a marketing company. And what they've done is this is one of their brands, and they are essentially an introducer to all these services like web design, fuel cards, vehicle tracking, CRM software. Based in Manchester, nice. Same here. But I would check out Expo Market. Like they do a lot of introducer stuff, and you can kind of reverse engineer what's working for them and do it yourself. You know, put your own twist on it. That's what I do. Where's this gone? Guys, this is the SaaS I've been working on, so this actually could have a bug. If it does, we'll have to kind of quit and come back to it. So what it does is it allows you to generate articles using AI. These articles do rank on Google. We have an anti-AI detector. So what you do is you go to the keyword research tool. Let's say you want to do, I don't know, Facebook ads. What's a keyword in the United States? Click on research, and then you get some keywords, right? And the full list, you actually get like 400 plus, but I've just had to limit it for testing. It's not mobile optimized, so I have to share like this. But what it'll do is it will go through this list and it will find keywords with like low competition, decent search volume, give you related queries. And then what you do is you take, say this for example, you go to the article writer, you paste that keyword, you can choose your word count, writing style, save settings, and it will generate the article with that keyword. So this is what I'm going to release next. I've still got a lot of work to do to it. But AI SEO is like pretty disruptive. A lot of people say it doesn't work, like you can't rank, but I found the opposite. So here's the article here on the right. And if I go to my articles on the left, you can see all of the articles I've written. And you can copy this as text or have markdown, CSV, and be able to bulk import them into your website. You also have saved keyword lists. So the concept of this is it's like a growth hack. What you do is you find keywords in your industry, or you can use the tool to help find them, and then you just mass post and try and rank for all the keywords with low competition but good search volume. And you do that on a massive scale. You do like 100 posts a week, whatever. Build your domain authority, get some backlinks, you'll start ranking. What do I use for tracking? I use Elva. I made a video today actually, I'll probably post it tomorrow. These guys right here. They're worth it. You seen how much your sales company was making from leads? What were you selling? I think everyone has to learn digital marketing, honestly. Especially in business, like entrepreneurship. It's the most valuable skill. Because it's like these AI tools that produce you, like SaaS tools, right? If you know how to market them, you can grow. But you got a lot of developers who are great at developing but can never get traction. Selling debt solutions. Oh, okay. Yeah, there's a lot of money in that space. I think some of them as well aren't being very ethical. I know the FCA like clamped down on it at one point. Use event tribe for ticketing. If you're changing the URL on an ad, I mean, if the ad's not working, I'd probably just update the original ad, just relaunch it. But you need to optimize for sales, otherwise you're kind of going to be screwed. Yeah, you just won't get results. Like you'll be spending money and It won't work. I've used Staple plus GTA. Yeah, I mean, I'm very biased on Elevar. Yeah, I don't do sponsorship or anything from them. I just generally think they're the best. But they're not cheap. I only ever use those guys and Hyros. Hyros are also really good. How long do ads typically last before ad fatigue kicks in? Hard to give you an answer because it depends on how much you spend per day. You know, if you spend like 20 a day, it's going to take you longer to saturate versus if you spend 1,000 a day. I think like 7 days of consistently running an ad will give you a good idea of where things are at, like if it's fatiguing. Whoever's giving me the likes, by the way, thank you. I'm on 21,000 likes. That's crazy. I'm not sure who's doing it. I appreciate it. That might be the most likes I've ever had. Yeah, Triple Whale is so overhyped. I don't use it at all. I just have the basic spreadsheet, you know, with MER being calculated. That's what works for me. I don't really bother with anything else. What do I think of dead internet theory? I mean, I believe in it. I think it's, I don't know, no one knows, but like, my opinion is it's been happening for a while. Like, there was a dating app, I can't remember the name, I could probably find it. They got fined a lot of money because the amount of fake bot accounts that were on the app. They were charging people to get swiped on. It wasn't Tinder, but it was one of the big players. And this was years ago. Like, most of the profiles on the platform were just bots. And I've seen it happen to a couple of other platforms as well. And so with AI generated content and agents, yeah, I could see the dead internet theory being a thing. I'm having this discussion at the moment, and I've seen podcasts about it where you're gonna have AI agents that do shopping for you. So kind of like ChatGPT, you just talk to it and say, hey, go find me a new hoodie that looks like this image I found on Pinterest. And it goes and searches Google and it finds, I mean, you can already do this, it literally finds the product for you. It's just a weird time. And then AI talking to AI is also a very strange concept. Astra AI. Is that Astra AI? No, wait. Astra.now or Astral. It's on Twitter. It's this new AI agent. I mean, I don't know how good it is, but the video is pretty sick. So it's this AI agent, and it goes and markets your product, and it's going through Reddit. It's finding posts, it's finding people to go and message. It's just wild. If you put this on Twitter and YouTube, astral.now is the domain. There's some very interesting videos about that. Can you explain what's happening with my ads? Sure, but I need to get access to them. Otherwise, you have to describe what's going on. Do I use payment methods that have been attached to previous banned assets? No. That's how you circumvent Facebook policies, and then you'll get banned. What time frame am I showing you here? Last 30 days. Can someone that runs an agency transition into sales director role easily? I mean, yeah, of course you can. I think you can get into any role these days. Like, all the information you need to know is accessible. One sec, guys, I'm trying to sort this chair up. Right, what have I missed? ChatGPT ads. Yeah, ChatGPT ads will be very interesting. What intrigues me is how ad channels are going to be able to work with bots, because you had bot fraud, right? This is massive head fuck. You've got tools like Clixies that came out, and they solved the issue of bot fraud or click fraud. I had a lot of clients who were getting like constant spam traffic, and actually really messes up with your campaigns. But now you're going to have bots that do shopping on behalf of the user. So the question now is, how do you tell the difference between an agentic bot, whatever the term is, like an AI bot, versus an actual bot designed to cause harm? And then you have to think about, how do you run ads? Like, if you've got, let's say like 10% of search traffic eventually is actually bot traffic, like agents, well then how do you optimize your ads so that the agents want to click? Or so it like drives them to convert? Because an AI bot is probably going to think different to a human. It's so weird. If I put into like my AI agent, find me the best shoes for under $100, where is it getting the information from? And then if people are running ads to the people searching for that information, for example, Google, how does the bot determine what to click on? It's just so weird. What's the most amount of Facebook spend you were able to achieve daily for a single ad set? A lot. I don't know about ad set, but I used to have a campaign that spent about 50 grand a day. This was just after 2020, so it was about February of 2021. So I was working with this company. It's called Bella. It was a banking app, and it was funded by a company that's on the stock market in the US called Live Person Inc. And they went and funded this app called Bella. It was like a pet project of the CEO of Live Person. And they had a huge budget that we had to spend in a very short space of time. They would call me up. And they'd be angry that I didn't spend enough the day before. It was stupid. I used to just sit there and count like how many things you could buy every single day. And the worst part is that company does not even exist today. I think it lasted like 7 months and then they just shut it down. I don't even know why. I only worked on it for about 3 months. But that's probably the highest spend. I also did work with Anheuser-Busch. I mean, they have big budgets, as you can imagine, across their brands. And then the rest are just sort of like 5 to 10k a day brands. Like CMOS, footwear brand, jewelry brands. CPM was $75. That's quite a bit. But on your point about learning stage, like you're always going to be in learning. I wouldn't worry about trying to exit the learning phase on Facebook. I would kind of look at the learning phase as a scam that Facebook set up to kind of like force you to spend a lot of money in a short period of time. They're trying to get you to gamble your money, as crazy as it sounds. You just have to be very careful. But I've got ad accounts right now that have not exited the learning phase. For example, what you see right now, I don't think any of these ad sets have exited the learning phase. Like, they never spent enough and had enough conversions in a 7-day period. And they're still making money. Facebook's always learning. You'll never find that you exit the learning phase and then you just make loads of money. Like, that's just a bullshit scam that's sold by gurus and Facebook. How much money is needed to be given ads for a clothing brand? For a clothing brand, probably more than average, because you've really got to test and figure out like what it is that people buy into. And so I'd say a couple $1,000. Unless you're in a market, like I've got a client who's selling in Germany right now, making a killing. They're selling in Poland, doing fine. So you could get away with spending maybe 100 a day. But if you go into like the US market, UK, probably need a lot more. Is 5 stages awareness still valuable on big spend? It's still valuable, but it's kind of different to what you probably see on like Google Images. If you look at that conversion funnel, it's more of a like omni-channel approach now. So it's about trying to get the consumer's attention maybe on TikTok and then reach them on ads, and they convert on ads. So you've got to really map out those different touch points. But it also depends on the setup of the brand, because I work with brands where they just want to optimize for revenue up front. They don't really want like 5 touch points. They just want someone to see an ad, be like, yeah, this is a cool concept, it's a novelty product, and get them to buy in there and then. And then you have other brands who are selling maybe, I don't know, luxury or $1,000 product, and that takes way more touch points. Do I do broad for testing? Yeah. With testing, you want to use the same targeting, ideally, and you want to have exclusions as well. Otherwise, it's not really a fair test. You're not taking them through the entire funnel for a product of €60. What I'm doing is I'm running a purchase campaign, like very simple purchase campaign, and then I run a retargeting campaign. I don't really do like top of funnel, middle of funnel, bottom of funnel. It's very much top of funnel and then bottom of funnel, which really is just anyone who's warm. And there's not really any steps in between. The key is just don't overcomplicate it. Like, so many people trying to overcomplicate it. You don't need to. Like, people used to go off this. This might be what you're referring to. Like, you get brand awareness for a brand awareness campaign, then you get them to opt in to the newsletter or lead generation, whatever, and then you just keep doing these little steps, and then you try the purchase campaign and you retarget them, and that's where you hope to get the sale. You don't need to do all that. Just like go straight to purchases and retarget if you need to, because Facebook is smart enough. Same with TikTok, same with Google. You can optimize for revenue. Yeah, somebody want your ads to review. We'll just comment the brand name. We'll open it up. The link click campaign is a campaign that the client on this ad account decided to run themselves because they had an offer on, and I wasn't very happy, but they just went and did it. So yeah, that's what it's for. I would never recommend this. They were basically launching a new product, so they thought it'd be a good idea to run a link click ad, drive traffic, and see if people would be interested. They had no one pre-order. No one signed up to newsletter. It was just a waste of time. No, I work on SaaS a lot too. I'm building my own SaaS as well. Dark mode, it's on a Chrome extension. It's called Dark Reader. Turns out when I'm on like light mode, the chat's really hard to read, so that's why we use it. What is this tune? So weird. My IG is official Matt Bell 2. Do you consider video view retargeted audience as middle of funnel? I mean, yeah, it is middle of funnel. My personal approach is just to include that audience in an ad set that has all engagement and all video views, and I just call that bottom of funnel. I think the last 6 months I've only worked with one brand that has top of funnel, middle of funnel, bottom of funnel. And to be honest, it didn't really work. It was just bottom of funnel that worked. Right guys, I've got to jump because it is, I think, 10:30 in the UK right now. I'll do a bit more work and then sleep.